while thanking the President of India, it is my first and foremost duty to thank the Honorable Prime Minister of India, who was instrumental to bring the vaccine to save the countrymen from disaster. I will be failing in my duty if I don't thank our scientists, doctors, professionals who stood behind Honorable Prime Minister to accomplish the great job and who are responsible to put our nation as a leader of the pharmaceutical field. Sir, I thank Honorable Prime Minister and scientists, not only on behalf of me, but also on behalf of my party and my DMK President, Mr. M.K. Stalin. The President address. Sir, President address is nothing but a policy note approved by the Cabinet, sent to President, and President used to make it in the Central Hall before both the members of the Parliament. It is an annual lecture. And moreover, it is read for the purpose of showering or elogizing the particular day's government in a great way. It is a ceremonial affair. But I could not attend the presidential address. I could not hear it. Along with the 21 other opposition, the DMK has joined the boycott of presidential address, and I could not hear, but I have read the presidential address, sir. Sir, DMK party basically belongs to farming community. Basically, I am a farmer. I am proud to call myself, I belong to farming community of undivided Tanjavur district, the granary of South India. It is natural to support the farmers and also for their cause and see that farming community could not be disturbed at any cost. The President in his address has made lot of appreciation to our farmers. I quote, I am happy to say that through their hard work, our farmers are augmenting the efforts of the government. Today, the food grains availability in the country is at a record high in 2008-9. The food grains production in the country was 234 million tons, whereas in 2019-20, the production has increased to 296 million tons. During the same period, the production of fruits and vegetables has also increased to 215 million tons to 320 million tons. I congratulate the farmers of the country for these achievements. We shower a lot of appreciation, sir. But unfortunately, the poor farmers who are the food providers of India are suffering. More than 1.5 lakh farmers just on the outskirts of the Delhi. They are suffering and they are put into hardship by the police and other people. They don't have any water, no food, nothing. More than 70, this is the 72nd day wherein our farmers are suffering and undergoing picketing and just praying before the government of mighty government of India to see that all the draconian laws, all the 3 laws should be withdrawn immediately forthwith without any delay, sir. Sir, more than 200 people have died. 7 people have committed, including today's incident, 8 people have committed suicide. Another 17 people have been put into prison. Is it fair on the part of our government, sir? I need, the government has to reply in a positive way, keeping farmers as our kith and kin. My dear sir, for the past 63 years, I am associated with the Dravidian movement established by Tanda E.V. Ramasamy Periyar, Aringer Anna, Kalaignar Karunanidhi, followed by Mr. Murali Manohan, and now led by the great son of India, Mr. M.K. Stalin, who is the future CM of Tamil Nadu, sir. on behalf of my party and the farmers of Tamil Nadu and all over the farming community in India, I vociferously plead before the President and Government of India to kindly repeal all the 3 farm laws with human touch, without sticking to any false prejudice and ego, without sticking to any false prejudice and ego to save the country from turmoil, sir. Sir, Jammu and Kashmir. We know Jammu and Kashmir has been divided into 2 union territories, abrogation of 370, bringing the enactment on the CAA, and Jammu and Kashmir was divided into 2, and more enactments, CAA and other things, has been brought without the consent of the leaders of the particular state, or the most eminent people of India, Indian community. No. But these grey areas should have been consulted in Interstate Council. What for the Interstate Council, sir? The Interstate Council has not been conducted, has not been convened for the past 4 years. Yes. Is it fair on the part of this existing government, sir? Yes. Hence, before bringing such laws, such most important laws, is it not proper for the government of this day to see that it is put before the Interstate Council and have a suggestion from the chief ministers, from eminent people, and also suggestions of various political people before doing anything to bring any enactments, sir. Sir, Vista project. What for the Vista project? 20,000 crores. You are spending 20,000 crores public money for creating a new parliament. What is wrong with this parliament which I am addressing? You are chairing, sir. What is happening to this parliament? Are you going to dismantle this parliament? No, you are not going to. It is kept as museum. I think so. What for this? All the secretariats are being constructed. The proposal is to construct the secretariat, to construct new parliament. Is it proper on the part of the government of this day when our farmers are lingering for food and water just before the eyes of the government? You are constructing, you are proposing, you are laying foundation for the funny projects. Sir, the states are under severe fear, I could say. The states are under severe fear because the education system is actually it is taken away by central government. It is snatching the powers of the state government, sir. I will cite one example, sir. Sir, the state government wanted to appoint a vice chancellor of the Chennai University, Madras University. For that purpose, it is not necessary to state government itself and along with the governor can appoint a vice chancellor. It is not possible. But from here orders are going. Marching orders are being passed from central government. What for, sir? For the past 60 years, the university vice chancellor of Madras University was appointed only by the state government and the consent of the governor. But now, marching orders have been passed, sent, and new vice chancellor has been appointed, sir. Now, once again, I want to request the government of India not to just to make any atrocities. I only see higher education commission. What for this higher education commission? Why do you bring higher education commission? What happened to the University Grant Commission? What happened to the universities? Are they not working? Are you not satisfied with the University Grant Commission? Are you not satisfied with the functioning of the universities everywhere? But these people are bringing Higher Education Commission of India, the umbrella body, having 4 separate vehicles: standards of setting, accreditation, regulation, funding, all these things. Isn't all these four items could be, so far it was possible by the University Grant Commission or by the universities. But what for this, the new commission? Just to snatch away the powers of the state from the government, from the state government. This is once again encroaching the powers of the state government. And Sarkaria, I don't know whether these people have studied Sarkaria Commission recommendation or not.